You might have seen on the news that right now there's a trade negotiation going on between the European Union and India, and where tomorrow on Tuesday there will be a EU-India summit to finalize a trade deal between India and Europe. And this is a of course, very big deal, considering that India has a population of 1.4 billion people, a very big market. But right now they have up to 150% tariffs on European goods. And so if we, on the other hand, look at Europe, we have a market of 450 million people, and a very rich market. And Europe mainly wants to export to India, especially, goods like cars, although, imports from India has also risen over the years. And from India's perspective, India, for example, doesn't want EU tariffs on Indian steel. So this deal could be very mutually beneficial and integrate the two markets so that we, could potentially get a, combined market of almost 2 billion people, which would be a huge, economic integration. But I also want to talk about the geopolitical effects of this deal. And then to begin, we have to turn our eyes against the United States and Trump, because his tariffs against the rest of the world has really, shaken the world order, especially for Europe, because Europe sells a lot of goods to the United States. It's the biggest trading partner. And so when Trump, puts tariffs on those exports and forces Europe to accept a humiliating trade deal that greatly benefits the US but not Europe, then that means that the US market is a lot more unreliable, and it also means that it has also shown that the EU is very dependent on the US because of this relationship. And so the EU has tried to find other markets to become less dependent on the US. And one of those alternatives is the deal with Mercosur, which is it has still not gone through because the European Parliament sent the deal to the court. So it's not been finalized yet, but it's been being worked on. And then also this ongoing trade deal with India and the EU. Trump has also put 50% tariffs against India. So here we can see that the United States is putting up tariffs against Europe and India, and that we therefore see this mutual interest to trade more with each other, to both find alternative markets. And so if you can't trust the United States anymore, then it's in both the EU and India's interest to instead, start trading more with each other, with trusted partners. And also from the EU's perspective, of course, to get closer to India and maybe make India less close to countries like Russia, who is an enemy of Europe. And so this really just shows how destructive US trade policy has been, because it's just isolating the United States while other countries like the EU and India begin trading more with each other instead.